I said, but one of the most powerful questions that I got asked as a teenager was always be willing to reevaluate what you think you know to be true. In other words, does the knowledge base, does the information, the individual that you are, is it applicable to your goals, dreams, and aspirations and the person that you're striving to become? Right? Is the software updated? Because I think we all know, no matter the business, no matter what we do, what's the X factor in life? People. The quote says it, people may forget what we do, people may forget what we say, but people will never forget the way we make them feel. Like we live in a world that's so transactional, right? To where people treat people like they're a transaction. And they waste so many experiences, right? One of the most powerful things we can do is value people. Like I gotta tell you, a situation happened with me and my son a few months ago. We were coming home on a Saturday morning from a workout. We were getting off on our exit. In Atlanta, it's storming. We're coming up on a red light. And as we're coming up on a red light, a big 18-wheeler truck pulls up on the side of us. It pushes a lot of water our way. I'm driving a truck and I drive with one hand. And so when it pushes the water our way, my truck does a slight shift. And when it does the slight shift, I think it's just a slight shift. But the truck keeps spinning. And I'm like, oh man, we're in a full-blown hydroplane. And I'm like, God, no. And we're spinning. And we're spinning toward a retainer wall. And my truck is taller than the retainer wall. And we're on a ramp. So I'm like, man, if we hit this retainer wall, then my son is gonna flip over into traffic. And so as we're spinning and we're spinning and we're spinning, something hits my spirit and says, Ink, let go of the wheel. I was like, God, I can't do it. I drive with one hand. It's the only control I got. And that's how we do in life, right? When life is asking more of us, when life is telling, let go of the wheel, let go of old situations, let go of old people, we're like, nah, this is the only control I got. Right? We contract, we squeeze. Right? When life is trying to take us to the next level, the quote says it, every next level of our lives demands a new version of us. When life is saying, let go of the wheel, like, nah, this is the only control I got. And we keep spinning. And I look at my son, and my son says to me, Dad, I feel like we're about to die. And it hits my spirit again. Let go of the wheel, Ink. Let it go. Spin, spin, spin. We hit the retainer wall. We flip in the opposite direction. Flip, flip. We land upright. We land, I jump out of the truck, I run around to the other side. I grab my son, I check on him. I grab my phone, I call my wife. I said, hey babe, me and Ink just had an accident, we're here. It's like I'm on my way. Hang up the phone, I look at my son. And so I'm just walking and I'm pacing. And I'm like, man, we really just flipped over. Like I couldn't believe it. And the gentleman walks up behind me and he taps my shoulder. And when I turn around, he says to me, you don't remember me, huh? I was like, nah, brother, I can't say that I do. And in my head, I'm like, bro, we just flipped over. We just had a traumatic experience, brother. I ain't trying to remember you right now, brother. We just flipped, man. I'm in the midst of it, man. He was like, give me a second, I'm gonna run and get my phone. He runs to the car, gets his phone, I'm walking. He comes back, taps me on my shoulder again. And I turn around, and this time he had his phone. And he puts it right slap dab in my face. Bam. And it's a picture of me and this dude. Talking about cheesing ear to ear like we brothers, smiling. And he was like, last year, man, was the toughest year of my life. And he said, I saw you in the airport. He said, and I was about to walk past you, and I was like, nah, I ain't gonna stop. And he said, I stopped. He said, I came over, you were nice, you were gracious to me, you took this picture with me. And he said, when I walked off, the only thing I said was, life, just let me see him again. He said, I just want to do for him what he did for me in that moment. Just let me see him again. He said, so today when I was getting off the exit, I didn't know that was you. He said, this is my exit too. He said, I didn't know that was you until I saw you run around the car, and I was like, man, that's Ink. And I was saying, man, we just flipped over. He said, I just wanted to give to you what you gave to me in my moment of opposition. Right? In life, I'm a firm believer we get what we give. Right? The law of reciprocity. Absolutely. The law of reciprocity. Right? What we give to this thing called life, life gives back. But oftentimes, whether it be in business or whether it be in life, we treat things like it's transaction and we waste the experience if the experience doesn't give us what we want from it. Right? We waste the experience if it doesn't give us what we want from it. Some of the greatest lessons in life comes from moments of rejection, comes from moments of opposition, comes from moments of things not going the way that we want it to go. Like I often speak to people about, it's always a person or people that have capacity for the journey. They got capacity for the dream. They got capacity for the goals, the aspirations. It's a lot of people with the skill and the talent, but they don't have the capacity, right? It's people that's smart as all get out. When opposition and adversity hit, they can't fight themselves out of a paper bag. Mike Tyson, one of the greatest quotes of all time, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. It's one of the greatest quotes of all time, right? Because everybody does have a plan until life punches them in the mouth. And you got some people that take it, taste the blood, and be like, all right, bro, cool, let's go. There's other people that tuck their tail, go back in the house and say, I didn't know I had to go through that in order to make it happen. And so I often say to people in life, it's not that people don't have what it takes, it's that sometimes they don't realize it's gonna take everything you got. Blood, sweat, tears, cuts, scars. People don't burn out and quit because of what they do. People burn out and quit because life makes them forget why they do it. And so when you say to people, be grateful for what it is that you've been commissioned to do, it sounds as if it's cliche, but it's so true when it says it's never about what happens to us, it's about how we respond to it. I stopped viewing sports as just a game a long time ago. I started viewing it the same way I view the stage. It was a platform that I got provided to cultivate a certain level of excellence and greatness, so one day when I was done with the sport, it would be certain things I could extract from it to apply to other areas and aspects of my life to make me somewhat of a decent human being. Right? In other words, when my injury happened, I viewed it as my arm and my hand got paralyzed. My heart didn't. My arm and my hand got paralyzed. My perspective didn't. My arm and my hand got paralyzed. My dedication didn't. My arm and my hand got paralyzed. My commitment level didn't. Like not the shallow stuff, not the stuff that's predicated upon external factors, but the concrete commitment. The commitment that says, can you stay true to what you said you would do long after the mood that you set it in has left? I used to ask guys one question: can we be committed to the process of what we're doing without being emotionally attached to the results of what we're doing? In other words, if the outcome changes, does it change you? Right? If you don't get what you want from a situation, does it change the thing that you said you wanted to do? Right? If it doesn't turn out in the favor of what you thought it was going to turn out, will it change your ambition, your drive, and your dedication and commitment level to what you said you loved and what you said you wanted to do? Right? Opposition just makes it sweeter. Adversity causes some people to break and other people to break records. The same boiling water that hardens the egg softens the potato. It's not about the circumstance, it's about what we're made out of. I always say to people, man, get some real people in your corner. Right? Like some real people. Like when you got the goal, the dream, and the aspiration, and you start questioning your ability and if you can do it, and you got somebody in the corner saying, bro, you're skilled enough, you're talented enough, you're worthy enough, go get it, go change your family's lineage. Right? We need people like that in our lives, right? Real people that tell us what we can do and what we can accomplish, and we use that as fuel. Real people.